Deep within a bleak and dismal era, hidden within the murky internet, lies the headquarters of the most sinister geeks of all time. A Legion on Zoom.
What's up, everybody? And this is episode 4 of the Legion on Zoom podcast.
I love that you always take a little second, like you forget the name of the show.
That is because I legit have a stutter, which I will let everyone know, and that's because I am extremely nervous.
And not just that, we also flip-flopped on the of and the on, because apparently there's the Legion. It was originally the Legion of Zoom, just for a better play on words, but apparently that's the name of like the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiving corps.
We are not.
Which we are definitely not.
We're the exact opposite.
We are not to be confused with the Kansas City Chiefs running court.
And then also, I think to be fair, if everybody at this point, hopefully they've heard the Origins episode, right? Because also, to be fair, we were called the Hobby Shop first, and then Legion of Zoom, and then Legion on Zoom, and then that's basically, and then this guy's shy, so, you know.
Yeah.
Now the LOZ.
Yeah, exactly. So, welcome to episode 4 of the Legion on Zoom podcast. Over time, I'll get better at this, so just keep it, just keep it rolling. So, in the news, there's some crazy shit going on. As one of our favorite subjects keeps on evolving and growing, the Snyder Cut, there's now been reports that Mr. Cyborg himself, what's his name again? Ray Fisher, I believe?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Ray Fisher has come out saying that the hitman himself, Joss Whedon, has had some not so nice things said on campus of the racial variety. I'm treading on eggshells here.
On campus.
Yeah. Exactly. So like on set during, like the Justice League assassination, aka slaughter, aka massacre,
AKA hit job.
Yeah, aka hit job.
Hashtag hit job.
Hashtag his job. Joss Whedon was supposedly like a little sexist to, like the crew, and even like a little racist, allegedly toward Ray Fisher himself.
I love how you clarify it. How you qualify it with a little sexist, a little racist, just the right amount. Let's not get crazy, guys. It's just a little.
Yeah, and we shouldn't blow it out of proportion.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he was necessarily racist.
Right.
I just want to put on the record that I don't think you, Mr. Joss Whedon, I think you're wonderful. I loved Buffy and the Avengers and all that shit, so.
I said allegedly. I mean, this is just what's being said by Ray Fisher on like the Twitter webs.
Right. I'm really glad you bring this up. I'm really glad we're here to talk about this. And what I do like about it, because it gives us some kind of continuity, because I think this connects it very well to episode 1 and to your guys' outlandish theory of a hit job, but which, to be in all honesty, by the end of that episode, I was kind of on board with it. And I do think with this recent events of Fisher coming out and all of a sudden like talking shit, like straight up saying, he shared a video, right? A video from Comic-Con from, I don't remember what year it was, like from the year that Justice League came out, was going to come out. And he like straight up said like, Zach couldn't have picked the best person. I have complete trust and confidence in Josh. And like he's saying nothing but positive, praising things. And then he straight up shared his own video and said, I take back everything I said here. Like, whoa, that's unprecedented. That's some strong words. Rod, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
And just to quote some of Ray Fisher's tweet in question, Joss Whedon's on-set treatment of the cast and crew of Justice League was gross. So I'm assuming like Harvey Weinstein, like Gal Gadot, whatever. Abusive. This is where Chaz is probably getting the racism from. Again, I'm not saying that Joss Whedon is the racist. And unprofessional and
Allegedly.
Completely unacceptable. He has enabled. Okay, this is of the whole tweet. This is the part that really got me interested in talking about this.
Oh,
he was enabled in many ways by Jeff Johns,
right?
Who we all know and love for his treatment of the DC characters.
Exactly.
This is the rebirth of racism.
And some guy called John Berg, who is probably important. Anyways, that was the tweet. So, guys.
Damn, exactly. Because then, exactly, you're right. Because that last point definitely adds a level of basically describing that it's some sort of almost systemic issue, right? It's a systemic racism. We don't know, but it's a systemic issue where the powers that be, Jeff Johns and this other guy, enabled him to do that. Oh my God. I would love to hear what other cast members have to say. And around that same lines, actually, I do think I heard this around this same time too. I heard like there was this post or something of that Gal Gadot. Apparently, there was a scene in the reshoots, no, that they took where there's one of the scenes you guys remember when Flash falls on top of Wonder Woman, and like it's like all like, oh look at me, I'm like awkwardly on top of you, ha ha ha. And like, you know, and he was like pushed aside. Like Gal Gadot apparently like refused or something. I saw this, you know, I'll try to, if we can find it online right now, the quote. But like apparently Gal Gadot was like against that scene because they're like, there's no point to that because it's also like a slightly sexist joke, like, oh look, a man on top of a woman, that's funny.
Yeah,
You know?
Wonder Woman is way better than that. Big ups to Gal Gadot for not shooting that scene. I mean, the Whedon cut is rife with problems from the top down. I mean, I'm a Jeff Johns lover, but
It was a hit job.
Apparently, Jeff Johns was also involved in the need to, you know, reshoot Zach's work. Apparently, maybe he had pressure from the other powers that be at Warner Brothers. He's really just the messenger. Because, you know, when it comes to creative forces at DC Comics, you don't really get much higher than Jeff Johns. So yeah, hey, Ray Fisher calling him out too. I think people are not. Maybe it's less news because of Joss Whedon is more like in your face. You know, he made the Avengers, all that stuff. But that's big too. You know, especially Jeff Johns. He actually, when he wrote the New 52 version of, you know, the Apocalypse War, he made Cyborg a Justice League member and integral to the plot of Apocalypse by making him powered by Mother Box technology. Right. So it's weird. And you know, initially I mean, this is all rumors, but in Zack Snyder's version of the film, Cyborg is like the heart, the epicenter of the team, essentially. So to hear that Jeff Johns was complicit in just taking out all of I don't know what's going on. Maybe removing Cyborg scenes. I'm sure that tweet was in part because they removed a big chunk of Cyborg's story.
Yes, apparently a big chunk of the background between him and his dad, like an integral, like and another piece actually that I read about it that along those lines that's surprising is that apparently Ray Fisher was saying that Zack Snyder was very inviting and like inclusive in the creative process and wanted to get their feedback on, you know, what do you think is right for your character and those kinds of things, which I will say, as much as I don't like Zack Snyder's work, that's awesome. I think I do like that. I do like that because that shows that he trusts, you know, his actors, right? And he's giving him his material, but then also allowing them, all right, let's do this together. And that apparently they didn't get that at all with Joss Whedon, no? That he was, you know, very, like how you said, like abusive and whatnot. And then to remove all these work that he had, scenes that Ray had taken, like, wow.
And to add, this is coming off the heels of Olivia Munn calling out Bryan Singer for his on-set behavior during X-Men Apocalypse. And that was definitely the weakest of, you know, Bryan Singer's films. Yes. And I think people, because of the social climate and COVID and chaos, people are just getting bold and you know, it's a time to speak out about stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Totally.
I mean, I think the issue is actually kind of layered in a way. Because if you think about it, all right.
Wait, I'm sorry. We have to point out that as people, I'm sure people heard on the Origins episode, we're obviously on Zoom and we're recording. We're like Rod's in Washington Heights and Chess and I were in the Bronx. And what you can hear right now as Chess speaks, that is 100% authentic, the Bronx.
Hell yeah. God bless the Bronx.
There are people outside just blasting music,
and it's hard to take you seriously about talking about racist issues with the music.
If anything, it empowers my conviction.
Exactly. I need your 2 cents.
It's the music of the oppressed.
Toma.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, so it's weird. So like, it can go either way if you think about it. So it's either Joss Whedon got rid of all the cyborg scenes because he's racist, or he just didn't believe in the character and the storyline, which, as per the canon, kind of makes no sense because he's integral to like the whole like new god technology and like all the like and like all like the mother boxes and shit. And that's why, even though he doesn't care, he still removed it. And Fisher is upset at him, and maybe he's falsely accusing him of racism because he destroyed his big break.
For the record, though, I don't think Ray Fisher ever. I think those are the fireworks coming off of my end.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't. I mean, we're saying racism, but I don't think that's. I mean, well, the first Avengers movie didn't have any. Oh yeah, there was Nick Fury. Anyways,
No, but that's a good point, exactly, because I think the key thing, yeah, right, he didn't outright say it was racist, his behavior, right? He said it was abusive and all this kind of stuff, right? So, but obviously it's all on our mind, right? It's all on our mind because of because the climate, right? Everything that's going on, right? Everything that happened with George Floyd and all the movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, that people are feeling empowered. People who are usually not empowered, people who are oppressed are coming out, speaking out. And to have Ray Fisher come out now, well, it's been what,
exactly
2 years later?
Like, why didn't he see that before?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So he felt empowered, and I don't know. So I would also love to know, like, he didn't speak about the other people, but like, was he oppressive of everybody else too? Was he overall just a shit to work with everyone? Or was it targeted? Like, I would love to hear other people's words. I will say though, right, that also during this time too, isn't this when also Ben Affleck had a relapse, no, in terms of his alcoholism, and he went into rehab afterwards. Could it have been caused by Joss Whedon's abusive way? We don't know.
Maybe the way they tore down that Batman from BVS Ultimate Edition. Like, they just tore that Batman down. He became a spoof. I don't know if he invoked, all respect to the campiness of the Adam West era, but I don't know if he was invoking that. It seemed like it.
Wait, so let me get this straight. As per Miguel, Joss Whedon was so abusive on set.
So abusive.
It drove Ben Affleck to relapse into a tailspin of alcohol. Shit.
Yeah, that's what I think probably happened. As I don't know.
And didn't his marriage go down the toilet after that? And so in other words, Joss Whedon coming in. Okay, another thing. This makes Zack Snyder even more of a hero in my eyes, because he's gonna come in and right these wrongs. He's the director that this era needs. I remember watching the original theatrical trailer for Justice League and seeing like a lot of like Vic Stone scenes, like really cool shots. And then when I go see the film, first of all, I didn't know what to expect. But seeing all that taken away and missing.
You know what I want to know? I want to know who's the proverbial, like, Dr. Manhattan behind the butt here. I want to know who's the person that was responsible for pumping, like, what is it now? What, like $300 million? Something like, I mean, how much is it now that they're pumping into it?
Yeah, like 300. Yeah,
30 man.
30 million. 30 million. Okay.
$300 billion.
Yo.
So yeah.
Oh my god.
So they're pumping in $300 trillion into this production, right?
Yeah. Give or take.
Give or take a few billion. No, okay, all right. So, who was the person that convinced the people of HBO? I mean, I don't know if it's owned also like by Warner or not. It might be. I don't know. But who was the person that convinced somebody? Hey, let's revise that whole movie and drop in 30 million and maybe continue from there. Like, who pulled those strings?
Yeah, we kind of covered it a little bit, I think, in the first episode. It was
right.
The first Zack Snyder held a watch party for his loyal fan. He had the Batman versus Superman has a very loyal fan base. I think that got people talking. right? And then a few weeks later, he has his Man of Steel. I think maybe he wanted to generate some buzz, and then he had that meeting, and Jim Lee was in the room, as per like reports I've seen, but Jeff Johns wasn't there, which makes me think, like, if Jeff Johns and Zack Snyder got beef,
So
because I feel like Jeff Johns, from what I'm getting, like from whatever reports we get, and I know the press manipulates the information so that it's all scandalous and shit.
Know about that?
But
Whatever.
it seemed like Jeff Johns wasn't with it, you know.
So you think it was Snyder that actually is responsible behind all this?
And the fan base, yeah. He got he got the watch party, got people talking.
Damn, that's crazy.
Jason Momoa on whatever Instagram, whatever Twitter, posting that release the fucking Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Like release the fucking Snyder cut, man. And he said beer and
Snyder
axe.
cut, baby.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
No, I agree. I do think the fan base, definitely Snyder pushing for it, because Snyder's been pushing for it since like it happened, like since like day one. And then I think the fan base, I do think helped for sure. And then exactly, but I do think there has to be some other kind of force there. And that's a good point, Rod, about Jeff Johns. Like, if we're speculating, obviously these are not facts; these are just speculations. But I do think if there was a reason for a beef, I think it makes sense, no? Because knowing, for example, we love Jeff Johns. Like Jeff Johns, thanks to you, Rod, and Jeff Johns, you guys got me into DC. I became a DCE fan because of this. Like reading his Rebirth of Green Lantern. The old school Rebirth, not obviously the Rebirth event that happened a couple years ago. Like, it's amazing. But
Green Lantern Rebirth was so good.
Right, Green Lantern Rebirth, and then the whole overall Rebirth theme that's going on now. The whole thing with Jeff Johns, I would say his theme is generally positive. No, it's positive, somewhat lighthearted, somewhat. Well, it is pretty heavy themes as well. I will not gonna deny that he does go into deep shit, but it's lighthearted. And Zack Snyder is like a dark type of theme, it's always like gritty and like, oh, but Superman, I'm like stoic and serious.
As it should be.
Word.
So I can completely see them both creatively clashing with that,
And how about these like rumors of Ryan Reynolds? I don't know if it's just internet fabricating shit, but that's a quick paycheck for Ryan Reynolds. Just pop in there, be the Green Lantern of that Justice League story, which they had a guy originally cast that nobody knows and nobody really cares about. I mean, the issue there might be that whether or not the Green Lantern film, which was initially supposed to kick off a DC extended film universe, whether or not that becomes canon if that rumor pans out. But again, that could just be like some wild speculation from the internet. But I've been seeing it pop up here and there.
I don't agree with that idea. Like, I'm sorry, as much as we all love Ryan Reynolds, and everyone does love fucking...
Everybody loves Ryan Reynolds.
He's loved everywhere.
But not that movie.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just, that movie's just... It's almost like he's beyond reproach except for that movie. It's like, nah, that shit is like, no, you do not get to be a Green Lantern anymore. You tried, back away, put it down. But we need fucking Tyrese John Stewart.
Yes. I think that, but given Ryan Reynolds the way, I don't know, the way he seems to be like, he loves to have fun. I can see that he'd be down probably for like a quick short cameo.
That'd be cool.
Nothing like really, nothing serious, nothing to really start off like the franchise of his Green Lantern movies again. I don't think so. I think he'd be done. But I totally think he'd be down for like a fun, whatever.
Fucking Idris Elba.
Oh, he would be a dope Jon Stewart.
Yeah, he's made for that role. Huh?
Or just fuck it. Let's go full woke. Idris Elba is Hal Jordan.
Oh.
Well, why when you have a arguably better character in Jon Stewart? I don't know. I've always liked Jon Stewart's story.
I said full woke.
Man, I guess.
Well, then in that case, I don't think Idris Elba would be a good Hal Jordan. I don't know. I don't think of him as Hal Jordan. I don't know, because I think for Hal Jordan, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I would think actually more like Michael. What's his name? Michael B. Jordan, the guy who was Killmonger
Michael B.
and who was
Jordan?
Human Torch. Yeah, I think
As
he'd
Hal
be
Jordan?
I think he'd be a good Hal Jordan.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you have to be a little bit young, I feel, and like that kind of reckless, like renegade dude, like I do what I want kind of thing. And
Yeah, and he could pretty much, I don't know, pull off anybody. Although I never
Yeah.
saw the Fantastic Four,
and don't
where he's
you don't have to.
the Human Torch.
If anybody's listening right now, you haven't seen the Josh Trank's Fantastic Four, don't watch it. Don't. Unless you're on a plane. That's how I watched it. I was on a flight. It was there. I had nothing else to do. I did it. And then I threw up.
Now he regrets it. He's the worst person for having done so. All right, so how about this? Idris Elba as Hal Jordan, and then Ryan Reynolds as Jon Stewart.
That's super woke.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now have Margot Robbie as the Green Lantern.
As Alan Scott. A female Alan Scott.
Oh.
Yeah. Alana Scott.
Facts.
Actually, now that you bring that up, I think that's a good moment to move over to, all right, so we're asking today, what you're reading, right? So, and then from because you mentioned that, what you're reading, that came to my mind, because one of the things that I'm,
It's what
not
you're
reading,
watching.
Right? What you're watching. It's the watching. All right, because we're all working on this. This is the first time. We're getting better at this.
We all give up on reading.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't read, kids. No, I'm
No.
lying.
But if you're going to read comic books.
Even though asterisk, if I'm not mistaken, Rod does have a thing against reading actual books, unless there's pictures in them, which means they are comic books.
No pictures, I'm not reading it.
Like a true comic book.
My time is precious.
It's a steadfast conviction.
All right, and so we were saying, so what are we watching right now? You mentioned that, so because one of the things that I started watching actually just this week, I started watching Stargirl, and I think, and because you mentioned Alan Scott, they really start addressing JSA quite a bit there, and that got me thinking about that. So because I was a little bit, como se dice, just not like, I was a little bit worried about watching, Stargirl. I wasn't excited from the trailers. I was like, I don't know. Like, it seemed a little like CW, but with like more money for special effects. And after watching it, it's a CW show with more money for special effects, but in a good way. Like, I've liked it so far. Like, I don't love it. I'm not like hooked. I think I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes. But like, I'm liking it. It's actually surprisingly entertaining. Like, it's kind of, and I love the nods to the JSA that they're doing in that show. I think, Rod, you've seen it, right?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think as a DC fan, there's a lot to love because of the Easter eggs. Because in this universe, you've had Jay Garrick and Alan Scott, and like Wildcat Grant. Anyway, so. But also, it's a pretty good show as well. And the way I saw it originally is that I watched The Runaways on Hulu. And for anybody that read the comic book, The Runaways, it was a great story by Brian K. Vaughan.
Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah, great story.
One of the best
he's the
writers.
Man.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. He wrote that. It was a great storyline. I watched the show. It was kind of like a cheesy drama. Kind of watched like a soap opera.
Yeah.
But I think this show, Stargirl, is taking that same recipe and executing it well. DC and Marvel are always kind of competing for the same kind of basic storylines and ideas and how to translate their comic books to film. And I think in this case, DC wins out on the whole secret teenage super team trying to take down this like parent-esque cabal. Like that's definitely they definitely pulled it off better than the Runaways did. So it has that going for it. Yeah,
because with the Runaways, you bring it up because I love the book. It's Brian K. Vaughan. It's a great classic story. When I watched the show, I couldn't finish watching the show. I just completely lost interest of it. It was just not like it is weird. It's not that it was bad. I just didn't care. Like, it was just indifferent. It was just like whatever. I think Stargirl, I'm a little bit more curious about it. Ches, you seen it?
No, I haven't. So, oddly enough, I have like an interesting outlook, and I didn't watch Batwoman either. which is actually kind of interesting since I haven't seen either show.
I don't want you to say like last time. Not that I'm sexist,
No.
but
Exactly.
because there's a pattern we're seeing here. Like strong female lead. Not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Come on, Ches. What's wrong with you?
You're gonna get canceled, Chaz.
I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere.
We're gonna start trending hashtag cancel Ches.
All right, go for it. Go. I want to see follow this train.
Just come along for the ride, kids. Trust me, it's gonna be fun. All right, so I didn't watch either show, but they're both from the CW. Now, strictly, just trying to judge a book by its cover. I am going to watch Stargirl eventually. It looks like something that was done with some like type of like sincerity and like admiration for the characters. It was a better casting, you know what I mean? It just seemed like better overall, just for the trailer, just for the way like the character looks, you know what I mean? Like it just feels better than Batwoman.
Yeah, you can definitely feel Jeff Johns' hand in that pie.
Exactly.
You know, like that's one of his creations. That iteration of Stargirl. Apparently, he based it off his younger sister, and it has that more lighthearted feel.
Yeah.
It isn't exactly a CW show, but because it runs on the DC Universe app, but and I'm not sure it exists on the new combined universe that the Infinite Crisis storyline.
But I thought they were gonna have it on CW too, no?
They're gonna air the Swamp Thing and Stargirl shows, but whether or not they are part of the same universe.
Oh no.
That's still up.
So. Yeah,
still up in the air. No, last point, because remember, Stargirl already establishes a Jay Garrick, and we know that in the Flashverse, there's a whole Jay Garrick plot that was amazing in so many ways. But yeah,
the beauty of the Arrowverse though is that the Arrowverse introduced us to the multiverse, right, of the DC universe, where in it we saw everybody exists, right? Like we saw Ezra Miller appear epically in the Crisis on Infinite Earths with Flash, you know, so like Grant, you know, there, like what's his name, Grant Gustin, right? And like Ezra Miller, like, oh my god, that's amazing.
That was great.
They showed us Titans, right? And everybody, so it could just as well be Stargirl's from another universe, you know, another, you know, universe.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. You said that they were going to air Swamp Thing. How? Like, I thought that got canceled. They're going to air what, like the only season? Or?
Yeah.
Oh,
just maybe get some viewers, maybe get some interest in the character,
and hopefully bring it back. That'd be awesome if they bring it back.
Oh,
because remember you have Legends of Tomorrow, which is a good platform for like other.
For Swamp Thing, hell yeah!
Yo, they gotta do. Well, aren't they making a Justice League Dark
show
or something like that? Well, come on, like that Swamp Thing should go there too. But like,
can't wait.
Yo, they have to do season 2 of Swamp Thing. That show was good. I liked it. It was fun. It wasn't the best, but it was good.
I was fucking traumatized by that gory shit in the fucking hospital. Good lord.
God damn. Wait, the one when Swamp Thing is getting cut open, or?
Oh yeah, like when they're like in like the bottom of like in like the morgue.
Yeah.
And like the zombified dude gets like the shrubbery comes out of him. I think like the roots.
Oh, yes.
And the body just cracks open. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Some graphic shit.
No, there's a lot of gory stuff in that show. Like just like, and then kind of like unexpectedly, like it just happens. Like, oh shit.
The green.
It's all about the green. All right, so I'm watching Watchmen again, the HBO show. Only because how can you not love the Watchmen, the Watch universe, the Watchverse? Like, you know, that show added so many layers. That Damon Lindelof, right? He's like the executive or something or other. That guy, he's famous for like Lost, that show.
No, and he was everything. He was the writer too for the show.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
he was
so.
The director, producer. He was like he's
yeah, he really added to the mythos of Watchmen in a way that didn't at all trample on the original Alan Moore. More in a cabin in the woods. I don't know if he even knows that show exists, but he should watch it. I know Dave Gibbons was heavily involved because, you know, right after the episode ends, it's like created by Dave Gibbons. They'll give you his name. but not Alan Moore's. But I think it's it's a wonderful show. It's very salient with the topics they discuss in it. Like I had no idea about the Tulsa Massacre prior to seeing that show, and such a dark part of our history, and that should be spoken about right now, especially. I think it's a great time to rewatch that show or watch it for the first time.
And you know what's a fun fact about that too? So, because I was reading about, the Tulsa massacres, and he did a fantastic job at depicting it, and really bringing it and making it a centerpiece of this universe, of this story that he's telling. And I was reading actually the other day an interview that I believe that he became either aware or more aware of the Tulsa riots, race riots, from Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, because he wrote a piece, I think, on the Atlantic, an argument for reparations, where he addressed a lot of the Tulsa massacre. And fun fact, Ta-Nehisi Coates is also now a well-known comic book writer that writes Black Panther and Captain America. Great stories if you're all interested in reading. But yes.
Okay, wait. You read the Atlantic?
I'll read it. I follow it on Instagram when they pop up with some good articles. Yeah,
It's fucking fancy.
It is fancy.
Holy shit.
That's right, guys. That's right.
Holy crap.
Anyway, but Watchmen, man, it's damn, that show was amazing, and that's
the Sister Night character. I'm in love with the Sister Night character. And if I'm not mistaken, that's like an original creation for the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I'm in love with the car, the costume.
Yes.
It's not overstated. I love what's her name?
Regina King.
Regina King. Yeah. Oh my God. She's like the new Angela Bassett. I think her arms are jacked.
She's more jacked.
Yeah.
She's more jacked.
Hey, man. Hey. I don't know, bro.
I'm watching the show right now, and she is an amazing character.
I'm gonna need you to look at a picture of Angela Bassett. That chick is jacked. Like when she was in her prime, I think it was like accepting Oscars or some shit like that. Like the trophy kind of looked like it was getting choked out. Like,
I don't know, man.
But it was like, yeah. Anyway, she as a whole is an amazing character. I love the freaking like the origin story for the dude with the foil on his head with the mask.
Yeah. Damn, I forgot his name.
The dude who detected racism. Yeah. Like I love the character of Sister Night. It was amazing. Mind you, and like as much as people like to complain, like, we should get like new original characters and this, that, and this third, and don't like just make a character like a different ethnicity. She's a welcome addition to like a new pantheon of original characters.
Yes.
Like I hope we get even more Sister Night.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think most of the characters there were like, unless they were an actual group of the Watchmen from like what was the name of the
Minutemen.
The Minutemen. Almost everybody was new. I think there was about three. Dr. Manhattan, Ozymandias, Silk Spectre, and I think that's it. I think those are the only.
Yeah, Owl was locked up. They referred to him, and obviously Rorschach got obliterated by Dr. Manhattan.
Right, but his legacy lived on with those racists.
Yeah, they lived on in the KKK.
We came full circle.
Exactly. So then you're saying Josh Whedon would be a Rorschach in this universe, right? Is that what you're saying, Chaz? Chaz.
It's basically like they looked at the ink blot and they saw racism. That's who they are.
Yeah, man. Fun fact about the show too, though, like I think we were mentioning it earlier, Rod, about like how there's no credit to Alan Moore at the end. I don't know if we mentioned, but like,
yeah,
because I remember reading so Damon Lindelof actually apparently reached out to Alan Moore and was like, look, this is what we're gonna do. I'd love to have your praise. Como he said, like your approval. Yeah.
He wants to find them in the forest.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and Alan Moore, like classic Alan Moore, apparently was like, no. Like he's no.
He did release a statement. Now that you remind me.
And then Alan Moore straight up asked them, like, please don't put my name on it. So that's why when they say Watchmen created by. It only says that Dave Gibbons because Alan Moore was like, I don't want none of this. I don't want to be a part of any of this shit. Like, that's like, All right, man. Like, I think it's intense. I don't get it, but I applaud his consistency.
I was trying to find his quote, but it's a sea of internet information.
I mean, but has there been like any kind of like iteration of his work that he's been for Alan Moore? Like,
Oh, that's a very good question. I don't
Okay,
think so.
all right.
All right, Rod.
I got a good quote, but this is not about the show on HBO, but about my man's Zack Snyder's version of the film. He said, not actually having seen the film, but just about the idea of somebody making a film about it. He said, "My main experiences in the past had been of the Hollywood variety, which was on many levels repulsive to me." So yeah, my main experiences in the past were with the Hollywood variety are generally people that he finds quote unquote repulsive. So reminds me of the Ray Fisher tweet already. People just are displeased. This is a time of displeasure in this country.
And voicing the displeasure. That's a key thing. That's a key thing.
Yes.
wait, he said that the movie was repulsive.
Well, that the Hollywood people of the Hollywood variety.
He said that Zack Snyder was repulsive.
No, man.
And I don't know.
First of all, for the record, fuck that. That movie's a fucking masterpiece.
I don't know if I'd say masterpiece,
No.
but I like it.
No, not at all.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the comedian might be one of the greatest castings in all of cinema.
I'll agree. I'll agree to that. That's good. That's actually on point. I like
It's high
it.
praise.
I had Chess. So what are you watching?
At the moment, well, the other day, I actually watched Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
Oh,
Yeah, for some reason, like I forgot why, but I just really wanted to watch a Transformers movie. I had it in mind to talk about this with you guys, and like I was just blown away by how fucking awesome those movies were. Like they hold up. Like there's a lot of crazy shit, but holy fuck, those movies are epic.
That's the one with Mark Wahlberg.
No, that's the last one with Shia LaBeouf. I think that's number 3.
Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, dude. Fucking Optimus just goes ham. He opens the trailer in certain parts, just uses different kinds of weapons. You see, like, the Prime that came before Optimus. It's a wild movie. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty epic. Josh Duhamel is insanely handsome.
Always. I think, but like for those movies, I love Transformers. I love Transformers. Those movies, I was okay with. I had fun with them. You know, I felt like I'd like to see a proper reboot. Well, technically, did you guys see the Bumblebee movie? I saw that. I liked that. I thought it was. I think it felt more true to the cartoon, and then the subsequent comic books.
It's on my watch list, but I've never gotten to watch it yet. Well, it's not that I've never gotten to. I literally just haven't gotten around to it.
Is it canon? Is it canon with like the rest of the films?
I
don't think so.
I
don't know.
I thought it was because it's the same Bumblebee.
I was gonna speculate that Chess probably hasn't watched it because the co-star, basically it's Bumblebee and a strong female character. So I just wanted to point that out. # cancel Chess.
Who's the strong female character?
I don't remember her name, but like it's the co-star's a girl.
Oh, yeah. I'm calling you.
Oh,
It's a new person.
Damn.
You virtue signaling.
I'm gonna edit the shit out of this right now and just.
Yo, a strong female lead. Who was it? I don't know. That was great.
Actually, so it is a very good actress by the name of Haley Steinfeld. There you go.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Name another movie she was in the next 5 seconds.
What does that have to do with anything? I don't follow her. I just mean Bumblebee was a good movie with her in it, and
all right, fine. But for the record, I did say that I am going to watch Stargirl. God.
Yes.
Guys, pause. I gotta pee again.
And all right, guys, we're back after that brief pee break. Rod had to drain the lizard. He can't hold it like a
Hydrated as
he
fuck.
can't hold it like a man on fucking July 4th. And in the spirit of which just actually reminds me, there's something that we should speak about. So as we all know, there's like a battle for the spirit of America. And it being Independence Day weekend, the people need to discuss this. It's a discussion I think that would benefit everybody.
Exactly.
I pose to you this question, gentlemen. Let's get into it. And it's not the usual who's more epic. This is a bit more abstract because it gets down to the very essence of who we are as fucking Americans.
Fuck yeah.
What character is America?
Oh, special edition. Who's more epic? I love this.
Yeah, there might even be some fireworks in the background for you guys, just to really, push that patriotic feeling. We're free.
Asterisk, those might also be gunshots, but
Yeah,
America. That's the beauty of it. It could be the worst.
So I'm gonna give my hot take first because I got a hot take. I know it's gonna make both of y'all go when I say my response. So there are the obvious choices. I don't want to beat around the bush too much, but you got your Steve Rogers, right? He would jump on a grenade like Bruno Mars for this country.
Damn.
But I'm not gonna approach the question that way because I think that the overall feeling in the country, like it has to be a guy because he's a man out of time. He's a patriot from, before a lot of corporate corruption. He was, anyways, to me, the character that is most America is Homelander from The Boys. I got Homelander. Never have I seen America embodied in a character. He had like the Trump hairdo. His costume was extremely patriotic. He was just like a mindless drone, essentially. With it's like corporations pulling strings behind them. You know what I mean? I think, and not only that, he was, what the whitest man in Hollywood, possibly. I got Homelander.
Oh, and that's good. That was unexpected. I wasn't even thinking about that. That's dope.
Damn, word. Speaking of which, I think they're coming back for a season 2.
Yeah, September. Yeah. Can't wait.
Watch that preview, people.
Great show.
Watch that preview.
Great show.
Oh, damn. But Homelander, that is a good option.
His name.
That's it. That's it.
I love it.
Like, especially because that resonates more with the United States, with America right now, right? Like with like in the true reality of how things are, right? Because even Captain America, even the name Captain America, still feels more aspirational of like,
it's too welcoming. Homelander is like, this is our fucking country.
Yo,
and with how season 1 ends, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't finished it, so just
good lord, you should by now.
Exactly. It's like with them also fabricating fucking wars, and like giving the what's that substance called, the that gives them the power, the blue thing,
forgot.
Compound V.
Compound V, exactly. Compound V, that they're giving it to people in the Middle East and whatnot, and superpower terrorists. Like, that's mad America.
Yo, fuck yeah.
Damn.
I gotta rewatch season 1 before season 2 drops. That's like in October or something. Definitely gotta rewatch season 1.
September is when it comes out. Yeah.
That was a good watch. All
right, gentlemen, opine.
All right, Ches.
I'm gonna go as my pick for the most American character, Frank Castle. I dare you guys to give me one reason why Frank Castle is not the spirit of America. War veteran, knows laws, fights crime, takes lives.
And also to add to that, and he's also not just a war veteran, but he also really encapsulates really well. War veteran, forgotten from the system, like just fell through the cracks. Like, where was the VA helping him with his trauma?
The system he went to war to defend.
Yeah, like poor Frank Castle developed PTSD, clear post-traumatic stress disorder, right? From all the trauma he experienced abroad and at home, watching his family get killed. And he could have, what's up with this VA services? Nothing. That's mad America right there. That's damn.
Frank Castle is my pick.
I like
And
that pick.
if you think about it, even to sell Frank Castle for this pick is as America as fuck. Every person he kills, theoretically speaking, allows the world to become a better place. That's just America thinking right there.
Damn, that's a good choice. That's another, he does represent. And also like with him, just like he does what he wants. Like, I don't know, like that.
And I mean, hey, it's not appropriate. He's become Iron Patriot at one point, right? Like he got a suit, didn't he?
He got, I think, the War Machine suit at one point in one of the comic books, but I never read that book. But I know he had the War Machine, which is obviously because I feel that's more American for him to wear the Iron Patriot suit, which we'll confirm if he did or not. I don't think so, but like for him to wear the War Machine suit, like because that's what America is. It's the War Machine. Come on now.
Yeah, he's a byproduct of the war machine, the military industrial complex created him.
So if there's one character who might have been more birthed by America, even more so than Steve Rogers himself, even more so than Homelander, it's Frank Castle.
Okay.
Damn.
Thank you for coming to my fucking chest talk.
Damn, I think that's this is hard. This is really hard. I think I would need to like revisit this several times to think about it. But I would think right now, in my mind, actually right now, I'm going to talk it through with you guys. I think for me right now in my mind, who's the most American, who encapsulates America, especially like America now too. Wait. I'm sorry, wait. And a quick special mentions to, what's his name? Major Glory from like the Dexter's Laboratory Super Friends.
Oh yeah.
The ones that live in the apartment. That's a pretty American character. Special mentions to Major Glory. Shout out. Okay,
nice. That's deep. That's a good one. For me, so I'm debating in my head between Tony Stark, Iron Man. That is like capitalist, like number one. Like, I don't know who out there encapsulates capitalism the best as anybody. And
alcoholism.
Right? He has a history of alcoholism. He was a womanizer, right? But the other person, though, that I'm thinking could be, like, for me, is kind of tied up with there is Batman Bruce Wayne. Because who else encapsulates America with, like, a rich white boy that suffered some trauma, and then instead of using all his money to really make a difference in his community and his societies, for example, why is there a penguin, right? What were the social forces that led to Joker, Penguin, Mr. Freeze, all of that kind of stuff? Scarecrow. He doesn't give a fuck of the social determinants that led the history of issues in Gotham City. He's like, fuck this. I'm going to fuck people up. I'm going to fight crime. And the best thing, as a white man that he is, there's no repercussions to it, right? Like, what? So he breaks the law, like, whatever, right? Like, he doesn't give a fuck. When has he gone to jail? No, never, right? He's friends with Commissioner Gordon, right? The person in charge of, like, that's like white privilege at its best. Like, if Batman was black, Gordon would have shot him immediately the moment he saw him.
Very true. Very true.
And like the fact that he can just do all of these things, and that I love Batman. Of course, like I want to say, I love Batman. But I'm thinking about it in terms of reality. I feel that that's very much America. And that he's also like, and then also like, I guess even going into what Grant Morrison's awesome run on Batman, and then he became a corporation. He had Batman Incorporated, right? And then he was like a company, and he had Batmans all over the world. Like, that's America right there. All right, I rest my case. I think I'm gonna go with Batman.
That's very good. Well, and also, by the way, on a quick side note, something that we've always wanted to mention, but we always somehow forget. Even though in Gotham, they did create all those criminals, they have a great education system.
We've talked about this, yes.
Yeah, because all those criminals are PhDs.
Or a good chunk of them.
Yeah. Rod and I actually were kind of talking about this shit earlier, and we've all had this conversation many times, but we always forget to bring it up. So, like, I literally just remember, just a quick side note. Even though it sucks in Gotham, there's something about that education system that it just produces a lot of doctors.
Criminals. Cold-blooded criminals.
But like with degrees though, like they went to grad school, they went to med school, they did their stuff, you know, and they're still like they're doctors for the most part, no? Or they probably at the most they probably got a business degree. Some of them have an MBA, I'm sure. I'm sure Penguin got like a business degree because he's pretty good with his business.
And they minored in crime.
Yeah. Like Poison Ivy, come on, she is like a PhD, like I think in
botany or some shit like
botany
that.
or something like that. Exactly.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, Harley Quinn is a psychologist, you know, like she went to grad school and all that. Like they're all damn, like the education system is good.
Yeah, season 2 just wrapped up of her show on the DC app, and I love that show.
Yes.
Okay, wait,
Yes.
guys. All right, so we have to settle. So I went Frank Castle. You went Batman, oddly enough. That was a good one. And you went Homelander.
Oh.
Damn, that's pretty interesting.
I think since this one wasn't a match per se, right? Because like the Who's More Epic is classically one person against another. This was open.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we have to all pick somebody, or should we? Or how about let's do this? Let's rank order them. All right. So we all said Homelander, Batman, and Frank Castle. I would say Rod. Who would you say is the most America out of in rank order out of those three?
I still got Homelander at number 1, and then I have Frank Castle at number 2, and then Bruce Wayne at number 3. Because I think that to some degree, and you mentioned Tony Stark too, Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark work kind of outside the law. So it depends on how we're seeing America. Because when I think about America, I think about bureaucracy.
Oh,
right.
Muy bien.
And I remember that scene in Iron Man 2 when they try to they try to procure his Iron Man suit because it's a weapon of mass destruction, and he's just there like giving the finger, like, this is my suit, I'm gonna do what I want with it, I'm protecting this country. And versus Frank Castle, who's like a byproduct of the system, he still loves it deep down, even though it's fucked him up. Got like mortar shells going off behind me. The blood was all around me. So yeah, that's my ranking.
Damn, this is a good ranking. I had Ches.
I'm gonna say, in the spirit of America, I'm not gonna rank them.
Ooh, I like that.
Because I dare say
You're free.
I dare say that America is all those characters combined.
Oh.
Gotta add Superman. I'm surprised nobody said Superman, even though he's not American. No, even more so, right? He's the immigrant story.
He's an immigrant,
Yeah.
Exactly. The best immigrant. No, because what I love about Superman too, he's also an undocumented immigrant. All right, too.
Preach.
Like, and no, he's an undocumented immigrant and an unaccompanied minor too. Come on, damn.
But that's the thing about Superman, like him, like he's such an epic archetype that he's used like to represent Earth, not even America.
His original catchphrase was, he stands for truth, justice, and
the American way.
That's going back deep cuts.
I'm gonna add fireworks to that to like edit that moment. Yeah.
I mean, that was also he was also created in an insanely racist and ignorant time. Just quick side note. He was created in some wild time. No, but I for some reason the way I've always seen Superman, he's always used like to represent Earth, not a specific country. Which reminds me, I gotta read Superman Red Son.
The animated movie's out too.
Yeah, I just saw them. I saw that movie. So all right, so then you chose to go very American and go, fuck this, I ain't ranking shit.
because we are all those characters.
Right.
Like America is Frank Castle. America is Homelander. You know what I mean?
So I think for me, my rankings, I'm actually
America is Batman.
Fuck yeah.
for my rankings, I think I have to go. I'm gonna go with number one. Actually, I'm gonna go with Homelander. I do think that was a very good option, Rod. Yeah, I think Homelander represents, especially now, America 2020. Like just the reality of everything and the history of it. Perfect. And then for number two, I think I actually it's a hard choice. I think I'm gonna go with Batman for my number two, and number three would be Frank Castle, because I do think they're both. You're right, because they're both. If I could combine them, they would be, I think, the ultimate. Because you're right, because like Frank Castle is a product of America, and Batman, well, it's also a product, but the other end, right? Because Frank Castle's the product of people without any privilege and without like some privilege, because he's a white male, so he has privilege, but like without the money, without the stuff.
He was blue collar.
Exactly, right. He's like middle America, right? Like he's that disenfranchised American, white American aspect of the United States, whereas Batman is the fucking elite people. So he's like they're the two coins, but Homelander encompasses all of that. Like encompasses like the actual like bureaucracy and the fucked up shit.
He kind of looked like Donald Trump a little. Like if they made Donald Trump into a superhero, like fix his proportions and shit, he might look a little bit like Homelander.
Yeah.
So like to put things into perspective,
Homelander.
So like,
damn, that's so. Yo, props to that was the original name, right?
Yeah, Garth Ennis.
The Garth Ennis comic book.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and he is great name. Great. You wonder if like comic book creators will ever run out of like cool names for the characters, and then you get a Homelander.
So harken back to something I said like before we started recording, like earlier in the day. So it boils down to this. Then I guess this is the conclusion we've come to for who is the spirit of America on Independence Day. Captain America is who we want to be as a country, but Homelander is who we are as a country.
Oh,
bravo.
Thank you. And once again, for all those people who don't know who Homelander is, watch The Boys. If you're too lazy to read the comic, at least watch the show. It is mind-blowing. You'll get what we're talking about, and then just watch it. You'll understand.
Yeah, great characters. The Deep. What was it? Was Black Noir?
Yeah, that's one of the best names ever. Black Noir.
I
A-Train.
haven't read. Oh, A-Train. Yeah, he's good. I haven't read the book actually, The Boys. I'd like to, but I just there's a lot to read. But like so far, the show is good enough. I would like to read the book to see how different it is. But like, what I love about it is that the show is so good, right? So even if it's not at all the same as the book or anything like that, like it's, oh my God, everybody should be watching the show. It's so good. Homelander.
Land of the home. That doesn't make any sense, but still, that was great. America. All right, folks, and thanks for joining us on this American as fuck episode. America. Fuck yeah! Woo!
Fireworks and everything.
All right, guys, and thank you for joining the Legion on Zoom on episode 4. I'm Ches.
I'm Miguel.
And I'm Rod.
See you guys later. Peace.
Legion on Zoom, starring and produced by Jose Perez, aka Ches, Rodney Martinez, and myself, Miguel Arce. Please subscribe on wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or shoot us an email at legiononzoom@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Legion on Zoom.